Hey guys, this is MOLIS from MENtour District. We're here with a special guest. A ver, introduce yourself.
This is CHUY from El Café by Primera Taza. We're down here in Ball Heights on Anderson Street.
Give us the address de una vez.
It's 622 South Anderson Street, Suite 107. But just go in through the driveway.
Once you go in, I mean, you'll see it. You can't miss it.
Yeah, exactly. Once you go in, you won't miss it. But yeah, we're a little bit hard to find.
Yeah.
I think we're a little worth it though.
Yeah, it is. Guys, I'm sorry Rafa couldn't be here today. He had some issues. He couldn't make it here, pero he sent Chuy his best. We're going to start off. First of all, let me tell you guys.
He didn't send me tamales.
¿Verdad?
Yeah.
So look, let me tell you guys, because Chuy doesn't even know what he got himself into.
I certainly don't. I don't know what the hell's going on here.
First,
like, hey, can we do this?
Yeah, just like less than 24 hours. Chuy, can we do a podcast? Yeah, sure. So, gracias, firsthand.
Yeah, no
We're going to start off talking about current events.
Salud.
With current events, bueno, I have my phone here. Acaba de pasar September 11. And before we go into it, it was like a meme, se puede decir. And I just want to read it. I'll show you guys the picture. I'll show it to Chuy here también. Chuy, tell me, can you describe that picture? What do you see there?
It's a firefighter riding a treadmill.
A treadmill, right?
Yep.
So when I saw it, it didn't make any sense to me. Let me read this to you guys. It says, saw a pretty amazing thing tonight at the gym. The firefighter was on the stair climber in full equipment, including his mask and oxygen tank. After about half an hour, I saw him finishing and taking off his gear, so I went over to tell him how much I respected what he was doing. I figured he was training for a firefighter exam. When I comment on it, he exclaimed, 110 floors. Took me 30 minutes, 10 seconds, 110 floors, OMG. It's September 11th, and we had just climbed the elevated, ya me perdí, something about 110 floors, like the firefighters did in the World Trade Center. Apparently, this is a tradition that many firefighters do to honor the 343 firefighters who lost their lives in the line of duty that day.
Wow.
Strong picture, huh?
Crazy.
Once you know the significance.
Yep.
Let's talk about September 11th. Do you recall where were you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was working for Oracle software in El Segundo. And we're working in a building near LAX.
Yeah, I was going to say that. People that don't know, El Segundo is the city next to LAX.
Right next to
Right
LAX,
next to it.
right south.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this happened.
So needless to say, we were shitting bricks, to tell you the truth. The whole building was, because we're like the tallest building in that area.
How did you guys find out?
Well, we have offices in the East Coast, so right away through the phone lines, they started calling us from the other offices. And it's like, hey, this is going on. Turn on your TVs, and that's when we turned on the TV is when the second supposedly plane hit.
For me, I think I was my second year of college. I was asleep, and it was my older brother and my mom. They were in the living room, and I was asleep in the bedroom, which I shared bedrooms with my brother, my oldest brother. He's a year older. And I just remember hearing the walls rattle, if that even makes any sense. Like if something was going on. Like the walls were rattling, and me levanté, and my brother's like, hey, wake up. And I'm like, what happened? He's like, it was a terrorist attack. Somebody just hit the World Trade Center buildings. And I'm like, oh, shit. Somebody just hit downtown LA? Because I didn't even know where they were.
Right.
And then my brother's like, nah, they're in New York. I'm like, so what? Like, I guess because I just woken up. My mind didn't react to it.
Right.
So it took me a minute, and we go and watch the TV, and my mom was all scared. And she's like, oh, it was a airplane just crashed. And my brother did say it was a terrorist attack, I believe, but my mom said it was a crash. When we're watching the TV, that's when we see the second plane hit. And, the rest was history. And the only thing I recall from that, President Bush was in office. He wasn't liked by many at that time. And the only thing I remember from him that he stood on top of the how can I call it, the debris for, del montón de tierra y todo. And I mean, I don't want to call it like that because there were debris, but I mean, because there's bodies under that.
Right.
But he stood in the bottom, and I remember he said something, and someone yelled, "I can't hear you." And he said, "Well, everyone in the world is gonna hear me after this," and everybody started to applaud. That's one of the highlights of that, que me acuerdo.
Yeah.
But again, after that, salieron muchos, ¿cómo se llama? A lot of theories. It was an inside job. ¿Cómo se llama?
Conspiracy
a lot of
theories.
conspiracy. ¿Cómo se llama este guy? Is it Michael Moore, the TV guy?
Yep.
He
Michael
created.
Moore.
He did I guess you could say
Fahrenheit
Yeah.
9/11. Yeah.
that makes you think a lot.
Well, I mean, if you look at similar buildings that have been on fire throughout the world, they never go down that fast. So, if you have a little inkling about architecture or civil engineering, you know that the only way that buildings are gonna symmetrically fall like that is with implosions, with charges. There's no other way a building's gonna fall like that and that quickly either.
And
So
if
you could call it conspiracy theory, whatever you want, but
I mean, if you watch that film, it explains everything.
yeah.
It explains. Going into TV, ahorita en televisión, there's a show that my brother put me on it. One of my younger brothers. He's like, "Hey, did you see the Selena? ¿Cómo se llama? You know how they're doing all those like lives? What do you call
The life, kind of like a telenovela, but not really.
Yeah,
Like a
like a documentary, I
novela
guess.
drama.
Yeah, something like
A
that.
docu-novela.
So the guy, I mean, from Telemundo, they created one. I forgot the name of it. I just saw it last night. My brother put me on game. He's like, "Hey, did you see it?" And I was like, "No, why?" He's like, "You have to watch it." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "What do you know about Selena?" I'm like, "Oh, she was killed by the La Chaparrita,
By
la
the
señora
fan.
yeah, she was killed by her." And I said, "Oh, okay." And then my brother started telling me a lot of stuff. That was like, ¿cómo te puedo decir? Like, there's always two sides to each story.
Right.
So we always heard
But you can't get her side because she's dead. So
yeah. But what I mean is the two people that are alive is the dad and I've got her name, the one that killed
Yolanda Saldivar.
So it's two people stories. Why do you say two people? Is because one killed her and the other one's still making money off of her. So that's why we're not even including the husband, because legally she was married,
Right.
but the dad's still making money. So my brother's like, "Well, we heard the story of the dad. What about Yolanda?" I'm like, "Well, dude, she ain't got a story. She admitted to pulling the trigger."
Yeah.
And then my brother started telling me a lot of what they consider facts that was proven through the show.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy crap! You know what? I gotta look into it. And I saw the first episode, and it's really, it makes you think. So I recommend you guys to watch it. That's pretty neat.
Without giving anything away.
Yeah, I don't want to give it away.
I feel greed is somewhat involved in that.
Oh yeah, it still is.
Yeah.
And
Like it always is. Whenever there's anything bad, greed.
what do you remember about Selena?
Dude, I just remember she just came out of nowhere and just took everybody by storm and fucking engulfed the nation. Not only the Latinos, but she crossed over. She was one of the first crossover artists.
I was young. ¿Cuándo murió? Like in
I
97,
believe
98?
90. Somewhere in the 90s.
In the
I
90s,
mean,
like
I can't-
mid to late 90s, por ahí.
Yeah.
God, I was still like 15, 16.
Yeah. I know she was around my age. That's all I remember.
So, can you confirm that she was a big of a deal
Oh,
at
she
that
was-
time,
she
as
was
they
a
make
huge-
it.
She was a huge deal.
So she was.
Yeah, she was everywhere.
So even though she was Tex-Mex, porque in California Tex-Mex is not popular at all.
No, but she was everywhere.
She was. I
Yeah.
mean, I still remember seeing her in the old show Johnny Canales,
Mm-hmm.
which was based
Take
from
it away.
yeah, which was based out of Texas, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere in Texas. I remember seeing her there a lot. Where else? Was that Gigante? No me acuerdo. Because that was one of our
She
biggest shows.
She was everywhere.
And I think when she passed was when she was just doing her crossover. Is that fair
Yeah.
to say?
Yep.
Because cuando falleció, they came out with that one song.
When I Fall in Love or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that song, it was like one of those like Michael Jackson hits that was
Exactly.
just not just in the U.S. but like everywhere.
Everywhere.
It was a global hit.
Yep.
Another TV show that I want to recommend, and this is a perfect place to recommend it. The Mayans, the TV show. The Mayans. So first of all, you guys got to come here to Chuy's coffee shop. You don't know who you see getting coffee. Me personally, here where we're actually filming, I was here last time. We came back here. También invitamos a mi amigo Alex from Evil Cook.
Yeah, and it was Eric's birthday. Remember Random Hero?
No me acuerdo.
Se me hace que sí. I think it was his birthday.
And I just remember we were back here, and this guy walks in con una cara de sospechoso with like long hair to the side. And I was like, I've seen this guy, but I don't know from where. And typically when you come across people like that, you're like, oh, this is from some guy from my old neighborhood or algo, you know? And I was like, I know this guy, but I can't recall from where. So I told Rafa, like, estaba aquí Rafa y su wife.
Yeah.
Hey, I know that guy. And Rafa's like, oh, I never seen him. And I was like, I seen him. Y al último it hits me. Oh, that's the guy from the Mayans and like a lot of shows.
Yeah,
Yes,
he's come out on a couple of
really good shows.
and movies. I mean, I don't watch too much TV, but that's one of the shows that if I can't make it, definitely record it.
Were you
I just like what they're doing.
were you a fan of the Sons of Anarchy?
Sons of Anarchy. You know what? Like I said before, I don't watch too many shows. I did watch a couple of the Sons of Anarchy, the episodes, but I'm not a true follower. I don't even follow. What's that other one that everybody follows?
¿Cuál es?
Something Kings or Queens or I don't know. It's like medieval times.
Yeah, I know stuff. I forgot. I don't even watch that.
Lord
show.
of the Rings.
That-
See, I don't even know what it's called.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
Oh, Games of Thrones. Yeah, I didn't
See?
see it. I
know.
I
Someone's
watch a lot
probably
of
gonna-
TV.
Someone's probably gonna kill me. They're like, "Why you don't watch that?
Yeah, the
I'm never
fans
going
are-
there again."
Yeah.
And I go, no, but I mean, I'm so caught up in my coffee fantasy world that I just don't have time for it, I guess.
All right, guys. Look, we're gonna take a commercial break. Before we, when we come back, you're gonna find out where Chuy's from, where he grew up, how did he get into coffee, and where has coffee taken him,
And where am I going?
and where is he going with coffee. So
Damn.
don't go nowhere. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us again. This is MOLIS. Estamos aquí con Chuy. Chuy, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where did you grow up?
Well, I was born in Jalisco, this little town called Talpa de Allende, Jalisco, known for its La Virgen, El Chicle, El Rollo de Guayaba. I like to call it Talpa de Argüendes because it's so small, you know. Te echas un pedo, everybody knows what
Everybody
it smells
knows.
like. Yeah,
¿De dónde vino y todo?
exactly. ¿Qué comiste? Todo eso, you know.
And
DNA.
where did you grow up?
I grew up here in what's called Dogtown. Don't jump me. I don't belong there. You know, I don't. I'm not. I just grew up there. Now, my parents were so fucking strict. There's no way I was gonna join a gang. You know, they would have killed me before.
No.
And luckily, you know, I had both parents. But yeah, we grew up here in the projects. It's called William Mead Homes, but it's known as Dogtown. And as everybody know, all the projects were created after World War II to house the veterans that were coming back up from the wars. But yeah, I grew up like in the late '70s, and it was a madhouse, dude. Talk about that's probably why I don't watch TV, because there was so much drama and action going on in my
Outside,
neighborhood that
yeah, no need for it.
I don't need anymore, man. I think I've had my share. It was really crazy. If you think about it, when you're a little kid, you don't think about it. It's your playground,
Right.
and you try to make the best of it. But once you have time to think about it and recollect, you're like, holy shit, how the hell did I get out of there alive? You know?
Right.
Yeah. So it's pretty crazy. I don't know if it traumatized me in some ways, you know, in my psyche, but I'm really thankful that I lived through it, because it makes you who you are.
Right. Your identity,
Yeah.
character.
Yep.
And let me ask you, how did you get involved with coffee?
Well, I've been in the food and beverage industry for almost 20 years now. But, you know, to tell you the truth, I was never into coffee. Been into, like I said, food, beer, wine I can taste, but I found out I'm not, I don't do well with wine. Se me borra la cinta. So I think I'm like allergic to something in it. Can't tell you the truth. But, you know, I just don't do well with wine. But I can taste it. I can tell you, oh, yeah, this has these flavors. I like this one. I don't like this one. But I got to spit it out. I can't drink it. And I was a tea drinker. Like all my life, I've been a tea drinker since I was a little kid. And I think I get that from my grandfather on my mom's side. He used to drink teas and stuff like that with no sugar. And one day I was actually stopped by to get some food from Chef Wes Avila from Gorilla Tacos. He was just starting
Okay.
back then, and he was set up in front of Handsome Coffee Roasters. So I walked in there and talked to nicely. He was the head barista at the time. He's now involved with Menottes in Venice. They have one in Culver City, Hollywood. But I asked for teas, like, how about if I make you a coffee that tastes like tea? And I'm like, just go for it. And I tasted it, and that it tasted like an English breakfast, Earl Grey kind of flavors, and I was just shocked. So it just opened up a can of worms, and it's been a love affair and now a passion ever since.
How long you been established here?
At this location, a little bit over a year, about a year and a half. I was on First Street for 3 years, so had the coffee shop for 4.5 years now.
Okay. What made you come over here?
One, necessity. Two, it was we had been talking about it with Steve and Caroline, the owners of the studio where I'm at. They became fans of me immediately when I took over the coffee shop, PRIMERA TAZA on First Street. And they became instant fans, and they were talking to me about it for a while, about coming over here and setting up something over here. And then when we lost the lease, because of the landlord didn't allow us to exercise the 2-year option that we had left in our contract, it kind of became an emergency to come over here and not just a luxury to set up a second place. So yeah, we're here permanently, but we are looking at other brick and mortars at the moment. A couple here in Ball Heights and one in East LA.
You know, the first time I came here, actually the first time we met, I think it was the second time we were talking, and our conversation made me realize that, I mean, you were the real deal. I remember we started talking about coffee because I don't really drink much coffee. I don't know if you agree with this, but um, in Mexico ¿cómo se llama? Se acostumbra mucho que el café es para el trabajador.
Yeah.
So
Y
I
luego
remember,
es instantáneo.
so I remember when I used to go and visit, we used to go visit allá mi tía in Durango, like for the summer breaks. We would go over and her husband pues iba a trabajar, and then I was a teenager,
Yeah.
and she had two younger kids. They must have been like 7 or 8, pero ya andaban trabajando, andaban cuidando vacas, or even ayudarle al papá. So they would wake up, and one thing from our side in Durango, no matter if you got money or not, for breakfast you're eating huevos con frijoles, con salsa or chile, however you prefer.
Oh, that's the best.
And I remember my aunt mandaba a los kids. Me decía, hey, ya está el desayuno. I'm like, oh, okay. Y mandaba a los kids. Mandaba uno, hey, ve a comprar una soda. And I grew up drinking soda, at any time. And he me felt weird because I was the only one drinking soda, but the kids were drinking coffee.
Yeah.
And then that's where I realized that, oh, okay, ya lo último I put 1 and 2 together. And it's like, oh, okay, coffee es para los trabajadores, or I guess you could say it's sort of like a prize, that you win by starting your day trabajando.
Right.
So I was like, oh, okay. So I never grew up drinking coffee. No, nunca fue hasta hace poco. Una amiga, la Leslie, she got me into coffee. But I got introduced to the McDonald's coffee. ¿Cuál era? The ice, no sé ni ordenarlo. The ice caramel macchiato.
All right.
And me, I don't know, I shouldn't be doing it, but I would always do the extra caramel. And I could drink the cold, pero así, café caliente, it's not really been my thing.
Yeah.
I mean, café de olla, I got introduced to it, loved it. And when como te estás explicando, the second time when I came, and you started schooling me, about the bean, I thought bean was something, ¿cómo se llama? Like the little beans, but it's not.
Como un frijol.
Yeah, pero no.
Underground.
Es como, I remember you took like a raw thing, me lo enseñaste. Y para mí, para la gente que me entienda, era como un tamarindo. Like I see texture and everything.
La cáscara or the peel of the fruit of coffee, because coffee is a fruit. When you let it dry, it actually gives you a hint of tamarindo, and you got it right off the bat. And that's why I don't tell people when I go, here, taste it. Tell me what you taste. And right away, people always tell me, tastes like tamarindo. And I'm like, exactly. Tamarindo is also a fruit.
Right. Y la cáscara, can you eat it, or can
Yeah,
you
the
boil
cáscara,
it?
you can eat it. You can boil it. I actually make tea out of it.
Oh, do you?
I can make syrups out of it. But like I just told my friend this weekend, I met up with one of my farmers from Veracruz. He's got a house in TJ, so I met with him and we were talking about that. And I told him that I had told my aunt when I went to Jalisco, she owns a coffee property in Jalisco, and they were basically throwing away the cáscara or the peel, or using some of it to make fertilizer, but for the most part they were discarding it. I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, this is gold. And I go, you're throwing away gold. He goes, what do you mean? I go, look. He goes, boil some of it. And I goes, or make an agua fresca. And I go, sell it. And I go, sell it as agua fresca. It's got a little boost because it has, the cáscara has about 25% caffeine of regular coffee. So you're still going to get some caffeine out of it, but it's going to taste like tamarindo. And I go, you can make it with agua mineral and get kind of like a seltzer, or just make it regular, with, like an agua fresca. And she did, and she started selling it like crazy. So now she won't even give it to me. Yeah. She's like pricing that the same as coffee, and it's just funny. Now it's really hard to get now, especially fresh organic cáscara, because everybody's doing something with it.
Yeah.
So it's cool because nada se desperdicia now.
Right.
From the coffee, which is really, really good.
Lo especially ahorita que the whole organic, the title organic is very in demand. I would think it would even sell faster.
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, organic is just a word that you buy. Those that can afford to buy it, because it's pretty expensive, especially if you're a farmer. Uh, you don't make a lot as a farmer. Of course, our organization is changing that, paying 2 3 times what the farmer usually gets. So that's not a problem, but still a lot of people are being taken advantage of.
Let me ask you. I think you mentioned before that you have different kind of coffees, and you bring them from different parts of Mexico.
Yeah, there's 16 states now, that 16 out of 31 states that produce coffee in Mexico. And unlike other uh, coffee producing countries in the Americas, Mexico has a pretty long range and different microclimates, so you get different types of taste everywhere. Yeah, but all our coffee comes from Mexico. They're organic. We're not saying they're certified organic, because we refuse to put that burden on the farmer to get certified, because we think it's ridiculous, and we take measures to make sure our stuff is above grade, and we're not using chemicals that are harmful,
So I guess
to the environment and to the people.
you could taste it different.
Oh yeah, you could definitely taste the difference. I mean, a couple weeks ago, I had um, a tomahawk steak from in Tijuana, from Sonora. Thing was amazing. I've had a tomahawk steak here at Bestia, in downtown LA, and let me tell you, no, no le pide nada. The steaks of Sonora are amazing. Ori here in Bestia, supplies the best meats for his restaurant. So the stuff there is pretty incredible, man. It's pretty incredible.
Let's go back to coffee. Um, is the sale increasing or decreasing? With now everybody being careful with their intaking, with the whole caffeine and all this stuff.
Well, not really. It's not decreasing. There's actually two things that are pretty recession proof, and you could do the research on it. But from the research I've done, there's two things that are recession proof: chocolate and coffee. There isn't a decrease. If anything, there's an increase, especially in the niche that I'm involved with, which is specialty coffee. Specialty coffee is about 10% of the entire industry, and this is what we serve. What we serve here. So it's that segment's actually growing, and Latino segment's just ridiculous as far as growth. Um, it probably doesn't get a lot of publicity out there because the media doesn't want to shine light on it, but it's probably the Latino market's probably the only market that's in growth and in double-digit growth, which is ridiculous. And I think even the what people are reporting now out there is skewed because of street vending and so forth that is not accounted for. So I think we have a lot of power in our spending, and it's not going to stop. It isn't stopping. It's not showing any signs of slowing down. So it's pretty crazy. They're trying to slow it down, I guess, with all the policies and shit that's going on with the government here in the U.S. But it's inevitable. It's the only population that's growing, so it's the only financial sector that's also growing.
So what can we find at your place here in LA?
Well, you're gonna find coffees from Mexico. You're gonna get hopefully 100% attention, customer service, and you might get a little history behind what we do and what the people of Mexico are doing to not only better what they do, but become the best producer in the entire world.
Tell me about teas.
Well, teas, we get all our teas from Charo tea right here in Little Tokyo. It's at the Japanese American Museum. Charo was the first importer of chai tea from India. The owners are Indian, so I trust everything they do as far as the quality. They really take care of us as far as a customer, and I pass that on to the people here. There's some teas that we get that's super expensive, like jasmine. We just don't get any jasmine. We get the jasmine pearls, which are hand rolled. If you look at them, they're little tiny balls, canicas, and those are hand rolled. They're super expensive, but we don't overcharge the people because I want people to, taste, have access to high quality stuff without having to pay an arm and a leg for it. Our pour overs are a perfect example. I get some coffees that are really expensive to get, and I don't even retail them because a 12-ounce bag is just ridiculous. But I keep all my price, and no matter what, pour over at $6 across the board. So you could have a $15, $20 coffee, and you could taste that same price as a $75 coffee.
Wow. And what are your days of operations here?
We're open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Then Saturday from 8 a.m. 2 p.m. We don't have food. It's all drinks. We do have some pastries. We work with Homeboy Industries, their bakery, so most of my baked goods come from there. And we also get our vegan treats from Muy Yummy Vegan. But other than that, as far as food, I do have vendors. Monday, I have por los menos un taco, Chef Jose Solis. They used to be a sous chef at Gorilla Tacos. He comes on Mondays and does a Guatemalan fare. Tuesdays I have Evil Cooks with Chef Alex and Elvia. They do a good rendition of a breakfast burrito with chilaquiles. I'm sure you've had it.
Right.
Then Fridays I have Something Good LA. They do more of a brunch, and they do some Latino-inspired brunch dishes. Then Saturday I just leave it open either for the lunches that I make sometimes, or special guests like this week we have Jairo from Hamburgers Nice making I think he's the only or the first Chicano doing the smash burgers here in Los Angeles, so happy to support. Like I said, there's plenty of us that fight and have envidias over each other, and we try to pull each other down, but I think that's just got to end, and I try to help as much as I can.
Since we created a MENtour district, we noticed that there's a lot of Latinos, ¿cómo se puede decir? Like being independent. Like you said, a couple of sous chefs from certain restaurants or whatever. I see a lot of Latinos being more independent, entrepreneur, but I'm starting to see the love. Ya se empiezan a apoyar, porque antes, olvídate. Sabes que yo vendo tacos, pero tú vendes hamburguesas. Ahora yo voy a hacer tacos de hamburguesa. Like we couldn't see each other be more successful.
Right. No nos apoyábamos uno al otro, ya.
Y ahorita estoy viendo mucho, a lot of
collabs. Exactly. Y de eso se trata. I mean, all the other razas, they had a step on us because, they help each other no matter what. No matter what, they help each other. And us, we're so envidiosos that if for some reason no te caí bien, boom, te desapartas and you don't support that person, and we gotta help each other out. We got numbers, if we help each other out, ooh, it's crazy the exponential growth that's going to happen. And it, like you said, it's been happening. You know, more and more we're helping each other instead of bringing each other down. I think there's a thin line between dándole carrilla a uno and just cagando a uno, you know,
Right.
for what they're doing.
Right. So, what do you recommend for a first-time visitor to your place? ¿Qué recomiendas?
Well, one, you know, don't be shy to ask questions. If you've never had coffee and you've never had coffee at a certain level, don't be shy to ask questions. We're not a Starbucks. We're not gonna get all pissed off at you. You know, let us know what you want and let us know what you like. We can give you something plain, like a black coffee, that's gonna knock your socks off no matter what, or we could add, you know, some flavoring to it. Of course, we do everything naturally. No corn sweeteners, none of that stuff. Now we carry most of the milks you could think of, because you know people are more conscious about what we're putting into our bodies, which is a good thing. I mean, us as Latinos, we never had milk in our diet, well, mammal milk in our diet, except for what we had from our moms until, you know, Europeans came over onto these lands and introduced us to cow milk. But you know, there's nothing wrong with having like almond milk or oat milk.
Right.
Now I even saw ghee, you know, chicharo,
Yeah.
agua or leche de chicharo. So
Anything to get sacar. All right. Well, Chuy, thank you for your time. Los invito a todos que vengan. Try his coffee. Come and visit him. It's always good vibes here.
we have tea too.
También.
Yeah.
What tea do you recommend?
It depends. We have teas that have no caffeine. We have black teas, green teas.
Hey, let me ask
I
you-
just brought back the matcha tea, which is
I saw
a
that.
Japanese tea. That thing's strong. I don't know how people. Seriously, I don't know how people think it's weaker than coffee. I think it's way stronger than coffee.
Hey, let me ask you, does caffeine really affect a person?
It depends. Some people are really sensitive to caffeine.
Like me.
It totally wigs them out. There's some that no matter how many cups of coffee they drink, they'll sleep like nothing. So different people react differently.
Yeah, I'm
and you
weak-hearted.
just gotta gauge yourself.
Yeah, no, yo I'm weak. Me tomo un café y ahí ando todo tembloroso.
Pues ahorita tengo un decaffeinated from Nayarit. So
Oh, de Nayarit.
yeah,
Ahí está para todos los coras de allá en Nayarit.
los 40.
Yeah. So
Arriba
guys,
Nayarit, sus mariscos.
yeah.
To me, the best seafood in Mexico. I'll keep saying it
No,
until somebody believes me.
no, cosa más. No he visto yo Nayarit, but I'm gonna have to go out there and try. So guys, I'm telling you guys need to come down, apoyarlo. No apoyarlo, no porque raza, but you're gonna love his stuff. Como te digo, Rafa, he's a big coffee lover. He's not here today, and he's always out here trying different stuff. That's just who he is. So I want to thank you guys. I want to thank you, Chuy, for tell us the name and the address and the social media where they can follow you.
It's El Café by PRIMERA TAZA. We're at 622 South Anderson Street, Suite 107.
Yeah.
All right, for social media, you could find us on Instagram at El Café by Primera. Same thing with Facebook and Twitter. But don't get all mad if I don't answer you on Twitter or Facebook. I hardly ever use those mediums, but they're all interlinked. But if you have any questions, concerns, complaints, you could always DM me. I'm the one that's always answering our social media until I let it go and give it to someone else to answer.
So remember, guys, come down. He already told you guys the date que va a haber, que hay comida, cosas así. Vienes, te tomas, si you want to do coffee, te echas un agua mineral,
Te
una
guacanazo.
soda, un té helado,
Un té helado, si no, nomás te quedas para el chisme.
no más. Hey, personal recommendation. You guys tried the café de olla? I think that's the first one I had
Yeah.
from you guys. I loved
Yeah.
it. Again, I'm not a coffee guy, but eso sí está bueno. So Chuy, thank you for your time. Short notice, appreciate it. No para que ni Rafa puede estar. Nah,
That's
shout
how
out-
short the notice was.
Yeah, no, shout
It's
out
all
to Rafa.
good. Like I said, you're always welcome, and everybody's always welcome. So
Come down here and you guys are gonna love it. Again, I'm MOLIS, and this is
Chuy.
MENtour District.